Ira Sharma's life was never truly hers. Raised as the eldest of three in a middle-class household in Delhi, she'd been brought up on one mantra alone. You don't get to want, Ira. You have to provide. So she provided, the responsible one, the shadow in every room who made sure everyone else was okay. She wore her insecurities as invisible scars. She wasn't pretty enough, exciting enough, lovable enough. By 29, she was a secretary at Kapoor Industries in Mumbai, dependable, collected, always dressed in subdued colors, fading into the background. Love? She had no time for it, nor did she think she deserved it. And then there was Rivan Kapoor, the new boss. Rivan Kapoor, 34, was her polar opposite. Charming, naturally flirtatious, the kind of man who smiled like sin and spoke like poetry. When Ira first introduced herself, "Rivan, you always sound this excited, or is it just me?" She didn't blink. She was accustomed to men like him, wealthy, daring, and always on the lookout for someone else. But Rivan? He paid attention to how she wrote to-do lists in the margin of her diary. He saw how she rolled up her sleeves to cover her wrists. He saw how she averted her eyes when someone spoke of love, and he wanted to know why. Rivan started small. Every morning, he placed coffee on her desk, until he learned she preferred strong masala chai. "Rivan, you're the only woman who rejected my coffee. I'm heartbroken." "Ira, you live, sir." He teased her relentlessly, only to see her eyes flicker with repressed amusement. But her walls stayed up, her replies curt, her smiles rare. "Rivan, you've built Fort Knox around you. Don't worry, I'm good at picking locks." What Ira did not know, he was already inside, observing everything. One evening at the office late, Rivan caught Ira alone, reading files, pale with fatigue. "Rivan, why are you still here? You have a home, don't you?" "Ira, a home doesn't feel like home when you're just the ATM machine." That made Rivan stop. "Rivan, you're the eldest, aren't you?" She looked at him, taken aback. No one ever got that in one sentence. "Rivan, I've seen people like you, shouldering guilt for wanting, so you stop wanting at all." She swallowed hard but remained silent. He smiled gently. "Rivan, I see you, Ira." That was the first time she actually looked at him. What Ira did not know, he was already inside, observing everything. Rivan manipulated her into dinner on the guise of a work meeting. "Rivan, it's not a date if we discuss profit margins." They did not discuss business. Instead, he inquired about her dreams, the ones she sacrificed. She hesitated, confessing she always wanted to pursue art but life required sacrifices. "Rivan, sacrifices are like that. Sometimes no one ever realizes them except you." "Ira, I don't want to be noticed." "Rivan, but I notice everything about you." She felt seen after that dinner. And just as Ira felt the corners of her heart yield, a confidential report was lost. Because she had access to sensitive information, suspicion was hers. Colleagues gossiped. Her own old insecurities thundered again. "Of course, I'm disposable. But Rivan?" He was angry, not at her, but at the charge. "Rivan," firmly. Rivan looked her straight in the eye. "I know you. You'd rather cut off your hand than betray trust." He started his own private inquiry, and soon realized it was a young staffer, envious of Ira's relationship with the CEO. Rivan cleared her name in public. "Rivan, during the office meeting. If anyone still has doubts about her, resign now, because I trust her with my life." Ira was shocked. She'd never had anyone defend her before. Afterward, Ira attempted to leave, too humiliated, too afraid of what people would say. "Ira, I don't want more complications. I just want to disappear." "Rivan, You've been disappearing your whole life, Ira. Let someone find you for once. She glared at him, pulse racing. Ira, I don't know how to be loved. Rivan. Then let me love you until you forget that you ever doubted you could. And then he kissed her, slowly, respectfully, as if she were constructed of all the fragile things in the world. They didn't become an item overnight. Ira was hesitant, afraid of her value. But Rivan waited patiently. He purchased her paints and an easel. Rivan, you said you wanted to paint, remember? It's not too late. He celebrated her successes. He went through her family responsibilities with her, even confronted them when they guilt-tripped her. Rivan, to her family. She's not your bank. She's your daughter. Treat her like one. Ira, for the first time, felt that she didn't have to do it all by herself. After 1 year, a year later, Ira stood at her first little art show, exhibiting her paintings. Her family came, awkward but proud. Her siblings did not see her as Didi, but as Ira. Rivan stood by her side, proudly. Rivan, you're beautiful, Sharma. Ira, I'm still learning. Rivan, that's the best part. I'm still learning to love you better each day. She smiled, confident, bright, loved. She was no longer the eldest daughter. Eventually, she was herself, finally.